Hi, how's it going? I hope you're doing well today. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. This chaos demon is Matcha. This is the only way I could get her to sit with me on camera today. Today we're going to be starting yet another reading vlog as usual. Grab a yummy drink if you have one. I have a classic boba with brown sugar, which I'm very excited about. You may notice I am wearing my hung rise on the Readathon. Yeah. I wear this shirt all the time ever since I got it, honestly, because it's so comfortable, but also today I'm going to be hopping into some sprints with Katie and the other mentors and game makers of the Sunrise on the Readathon challenge for 2026. In case you didn't know, because I haven't talked about it in any vlog at any point, I'm going to be one of the mentors for the water team, which is funny because I'm a Libra, which is an air sign, but my moon sign is a Cancer and my rising is Scorpio, so actually 2 of my 3 primary signs are water, so it works out. The sprints that we're doing tonight are like planning our TBRs and otherwise just kind of getting ready for the Readathon. I have not made any plans yet as far as what I'm going to be reading for the month of July. I never really set strict TBRs for myself because I'm notoriously a mood reader. I have a really hard time sticking to a pre-planned TBR, but what I'm planning to do is just look at the prompts, kind of lay everything out and see if there are any books on my TBR that I want to prioritize for the month of July. Maybe I can prioritize physical library books, since that was something I mentioned I wanted to do in my last vlog, was to read my physical library TBR. So maybe I'll look and see if any library books could satisfy some prompts. Maybe I can go pick up some of those during this vlog. Aside from TBR planning during the sprints, I think I'm going to work on some just vaguely bookish things. I do have this monthly calendar, like a paper calendar that I update throughout the month with my reads and the dates that I read them, because then I can transfer that into my journal when I make my journal spread. So I kind of do like a mock-up of it before I do the journal so I don't mess anything up. I have not put a single book that I've read from this month so far onto that calendar, so I'm going to do that pretty quickly. That's one small task I'll do. And I also want to update my annotations in the current book that I'm reading, and that is The Safekeep. It's a historical fiction and it does have romance as well, a sapphic romance. It takes place in the Netherlands, I believe, in the 1960s. It just says that it's set in a Dutch province and it's been 15 years since World War II ended. So that kind of sets the time and place for this one. I am almost done with it. I only have this little bit left. So I think I can probably finish this during the sprints tonight if I kind of finish everything that I had planned to do. I don't know if I'm going to really talk about it much for this vlog just because it is almost done. I'll probably focus on my other reads whenever I pick those up. Sorry, Mochi's itching himself. So you might be wondering what is in this bag that I keep distracting my cats with, and that is my crochet project. I started it in the last vlog, but I didn't really show very much of it on screen. So in the last vlog, I'd only showed a small section of me working on this, and I had literally only made, I think, 1 or 2 rows at that point. I clearly have many more rows now. So something I might have talked about in a previous vlog or at some point, I don't even know, but I love Renaissance fairs. I love going to Ren fairs and dressing up, a costume that I like to wear, but I've been adding to it throughout the years and like adding little trinkets and different things on it, kind of making it feel more eclectic and more lived in. And something I thought would be really fun is to crochet something for my outfit. So this is going to be a cloak. So this is what I've made so far. It's just about below the shoulder, like mid-arm, and it's gonna have little buttons or something down the middle, maybe just 1 button or brooch on the top, and then it's gonna have a hood, of course. This is the back of it. It's not that long. It's not really covering very much at this point. I think it's gonna go till maybe like right below my rib cage or something, so it's definitely gonna have to be a bit longer. I don't have the details for the yarn on hand right now, but I will put them on the screen. I'll take like a picture of it or whatever and put it like on the side so you can see what yarn it is. I think it was just an impulse purchase. When I was at Michael's one time, I saw it and I was like, oh, this is really pretty. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I just grabbed it, and it's been like a year since I got it, and I finally had the idea of doing something Ren Fair related with it. So that's my cloak that I'm working on. Once I finish it and it has the hood on it, I think I'm gonna try to find some really cute vintage-y brooch or something to put on the top to close it. And then I really want to try to add like little trinkets and things like hanging off of it. I don't know. I can just imagine like little acorn tassels or like something. I don't know. I'm gonna try to do some kind of like trinket tassel situation, maybe on the back of the hood. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I haven't talked about crochet in a while on the channel, but it's because I haven't really been doing a lot recently. I usually like to make gifts for people, but aside from some crocheted little headbands I made for my mom recently, I haven't made like anything. I haven't had any occasion to like make something to gift anybody, so I'm happy to be working on something for myself for once. This is my crochet bag, by the way. She's a cutie. But anyway, that's about it for this vlog intro. I yapped for a while and I feel like I didn't really accomplish very much, but we've introduced the vlog. I'm gonna be doing some sprints tonight, which I'm really excited about. I'm probably gonna make a list of books that I want to pick up or order from the library, because we have like a library connection thing in the state where they can order books from different libraries and I can just pick them up at my local one, which is really nice. So I'm gonna make a list. But aside from that, who knows what we will get up to in this video. Maybe some cozy gaming as well. I have been really hooked on a game that is not cozy at all, but me and my partner have been loving it recently. It's called Megabonk. It's like a bullet hell hack and slash kind of game where you just run around the map. The different characters you can play as are really fun. It's a very funny game. Like, the humor is just so wild, but I've been really enjoying it. It is not cozy. Do not get me wrong, it's not cozy. But I've also been playing this game called Thrifty Business, which is cozy actually. It's a very cute little unpacking style game where you set up a thrift store and you buy miscellaneous boxes full of stuff from like the internet, and then you unpack it and put it into your store. The way that you group the merchandise on the shelf like has bonuses and things for the price it sells for, I'm pretty sure. And the way that you decorate your store also gives bonuses and such, and you can unlock more rooms for your store. It's got a really fun art style. It's super colorful. It's very Y2K style. It's a very cute game. So I will probably show some footage of playing that actually. One thing I've been doing is working on redecorating my thrift store, because originally I was doing like a witchy pink and purple kind of theme, but then I was realizing that it clashed a lot with the colors of the merchandise, because usually the items are really bright and colorful and they pop a lot. So I kind of wanted my store to be a little more neutral so that the items pop more. So maybe I'll work on redecorating a bit more with you guys. It's not like the most customizable in-depth game ever, but for a unpacking style game, it's just really cute. It's a really fun way to just spend a little time. I put on a booktube video on my other screen and just sell things at a thrift store. It's lovely. But anyways, I think that's about it for now. I will see you whenever I have an update. Goodbye. Hi, so it has fully been like 2 weeks since I started this vlog, but I have been working on a couple other videos, namely the mid-year freakout tag, which has been posted probably ages ago for you guys, but for me it's coming up tomorrow. So I will have that linked if you want to go check that out. My current read is The Blighted Stars by Megan O'Keefe. This one's a bit of a chonker. It is 483 pages, and I'm about 243 pages in. Do you ever pick up a book and you just kind of feel like you're in like a time vortex or something when you're reading it because you feel like you've been reading it forever, but you're not really making that much progress? That's how I feel with this one. I am feeling every single one of these 483 pages because it's going slow. It's very much going slowly. I don't think it's a problem with the book necessarily. I think it's just that I am not as immersed as I would like to be in it. I think it's mainly the pacing of this that's getting to me. Let's just talk about like what this is even about first, and then I'll kind of continue that. This one is the first in a sci-fi trilogy called The Devoured Worlds. It follows our main character Tarquin. He is part of a very, very powerful ruling family called the Mercator family. I think I'm saying that right. His father rules this empire, and it's very much driven by their success in a particular field of mining. They mine this particular mineral called relicite, I think, or relcolite, one of those. But they have built their family's empire on this mining industry. Tarquin is a geologist, so he is very much versed in the rock part of this mining empire.
Rock. Yes, good boy.
And he's kind of the one who leads like the science behind a lot of this stuff. At the start of this story, we're on a spaceship, and it is going to be touching down on a planet to start mining Relka, whatever. They call it Relk for short. I'm just gonna call it Relk as well. So they're on the spaceship with like a ton of other people, all of their mercenaries and such, and suddenly something goes wrong with the sister spaceship that has also come with them on this journey. But something goes wrong, some error with the AI or something, and suddenly they're getting shot at by their own ship. There's also a whole lot of other shit that's going down at this point, but they have to make an emergency evacuation. His father ends up dying during this emergency evacuation. That sounds like it's a big deal. It's actually not, because in this universe, they have developed a way to print people. So they literally print them in like a biomatrix. They basically have a digital backup of their mind, their consciousness, their memories, etc., and they can print it onto a body. So him dying in the process is not a big deal because there's a backup of him on their main planet, I suppose. But as you'd expect with something as overpowered as being able to print a new body, it is very much controlled by the ruling class, and obviously access to this technology is pretty much exclusively for those who are in power and those who are employees of these mega powerful families. They will have their what's called phoenix fees paid if they die on an expedition such as this. So the people who die, including his father, will in theory come back when they get reprinted. One of the things that goes down during this evacuation that causes his father's death is the printing bays on the spaceship have malfunctioned, they're going haywire, and they are printing what's called misprints, which is effectively zombies. They're printing these mismatched like amalgamations of bodies, and they're just effectively zombies. And then there's also another situation going on where Tarquin's exemplar, which is basically like his bodyguard, is not who she says she is. She's been printed to look like his bodyguard, but has a different mind. This person who has her mind in the exemplar's body is effectively a rebel. They're part of what's called the conservators. I don't know much about them yet, but it seems like they're kind of working against the interests of these mega families and trying to decentralize and destabilize the monopoly that they have on everything. So we have a lot going on already off the bat because there's something going on with the AI of the spaceships. They're trying to figure out why the sister ship fired on the main ship. You also have the misprints that are happening, and they're touching down amidst all of that on this planet after evacuating. Surprise, the planet is already dead. It has already been mined and tapped for resources and infected with this substance called the Shroud, which is this mold-like fungus thing that kind of kills everything it touches. So that is the situation. I know I just unloaded a lot onto you, but do you see these tabs? There's a lot going on in here. So we are closely following Tarquin and his exemplar, who is called Lockhart, but technically the mind inhabiting that body is Naira Sharp, who is the rebel. So we're following these two as Naira is trying to hide her true identity from him, trying to do her job and act like a bodyguard, but at the same time has a lot of very, very strong feelings against the Mercator family and therefore Tarquin. So yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot that I just gave you. So much information. That is where I find myself halfway into this book. There is still a lot that has to happen, and I am interested in this, even though I feel it is going slowly. I do feel the pacing is not helping the situation. I am not sure at this moment in time if I feel any interest in continuing the series. It really will depend on the back half of this book. Any book I'm going to talk about in this vlog for the Readathon, I will also tell you what prompts it satisfies. This one does satisfy the bonus prompts of a book with queer representation because Tarquin is a trans man. It also satisfies the bonus prompt for sun or moon on the cover because there is a very prominent moon on the cover, and it also satisfies the bonus prompt of a book over 450 pages because it's 483. So this book is worth 483 points plus all of those bonuses. I'm really determined to finish this one before the submission closes for week 1 of the Readathon. It is currently Saturday. I would love to have this done by Monday night so I can submit it for my team, the Water District. What I'm going to do now is hop into some reading sprints because Katie is hosting them on the Patreon. I'm gonna hop over there and read a bunch of this book today. That is the plan. I think I'll probably update you guys maybe when I'm 75% into the book, and if I start anything else in the meantime, I will let you know. Okay, see you later. Hello, so it is now the next day. Let's chat about how much I read in sprints yesterday because I read a lot. It was a very successful day of sprints. I hung out in Katie's stream like basically all day, just kind of coming and going, doing different things. So what I was mainly reading during sprints yesterday was The Blighted Stars. I think last time I talked to you, I was at page 240 something. I am now at page 379. So we are really close to the end. I have about 100 pages or so left. And while I still think that the pacing is pretty slow. It has definitely picked up a bit since the last time I talked to you. There's definitely been a bit more action going on and more reveals. We're getting a bit more answers to the mystery at hand here. And so it is starting to kind of pick up the pace, which is good. I'm definitely feeling more immersed now than I was. I think because I had so much time in one sitting to read this. While the plot in here and the mystery is still interesting, and I think that I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, the primary reason that I'm here and still enjoying this book and still reading it is for the characters. I'm really enjoying Tarquin and Naira's dynamic. It started out very, very rocky, but they started to build trust in each other, and on Naira's side, it was very much like a begrudging trust because she was trying to pretend to be his bodyguard at the time. But a lot of things have since then come out and they've started to build genuine trust in each other, and I love the banter in here with the two of them. Once a lot of those walls came down, they started to have a lot more bickering with each other, and I think it's so cute. The back and forth of their dynamic feels very real, and it makes sense because not all relationships are linear. I had a moment yesterday where it finally kind of clicked that I am actually enjoying this book. You'd think I would have had that clicking moment way sooner because I was continuing to read this. I'm not gonna lie, because I do think that a lot of the reason why I kept pushing myself to continue this is because of the readathon, because I want to get these pages for the readathon. I don't know if I would have continued it or soft DNF'd it if not for the readathon, to be honest. Like I said, it was a slow build, it was very gradual, but I think we're finally there where I'm feeling immersed and I'm feeling more invested in the characters and in the mystery. So the goal for today is to finish this book. Like I said, I have a little under 100 pages left, so this is the goal, is to finish this by the end of the day. Towards the end of sprints last night, maybe around like 8:30, I was starting to feel a little burnt out from paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of a sci-fi, so I wanted a little bit of a break. So I decided to pick up a graphic novel that has been on my TBR for a while, and I had planned to read it for the readathon because it would satisfy some bonus prompts, and that is Les Normaux. This is a graphic novel by Janine Jensen. This is following a wizard and a vampire who meet in supernatural Paris. It starts out as just one of those, you meet a cute stranger at a bar and you kiss and then you never see each other again kind of things. But then, surprise, surprise, they actually live in the same building. They bump into each other the next morning after this random kiss at the bar. They're both just extremely awkward about it and very much in their heads like, oh my god, what are the odds that I live in the same building as this random guy I kissed? It's very, very cute. So our wizard character is Sebastian. He comes from the human world but has moved to the magical world. The magic world and the human world are basically mirrors of each other. They're mostly the same, and people can come and go between the two of them, but most humans from the human world don't know that magic is real and they don't know about supernatural creatures being real. But in the case of Sebastian, his mom and dad were both normal humans, but his aunt and a few other family members, I think, are magical. So he ends up finding out about the magic world through them, and that's where they live. So he eventually decides to run away from home and go there because his mother is not accepting of the fact that he is magical, but also that he's gay. So he's the newcomer to town, and then our vampire character is Elia. I believe his family owns like a famous design house, like a fashion house, and he's a model, so he's kind of like a celebrity, but for a lot of reasons, he chooses to live on his own in like a normal apartment. After discovering that they are in fact neighbors, they try to navigate this kind of awkward situation by becoming friends. It's just very cute watching them build this friendship and all these like feelings that are kind of bubbling under the surface. Elia also has a really great group of friends who are like a cyclops, a werewolf, and a fairy. And the werewolf side character in particular, she gets a whole like little micro plot of her own and her own romance in this, and it's adorable. I was actually so invested in her romance as well. We also get to meet Sebastian's family, his aunt who is a witch or something, and then his uncle who is a djinn. It's just a beautifully diverse cast. It's not just diverse in the sense of these magical creatures, of course, because there's like every magical creature you can imagine in this world, but it's also diverse in racial identities because all of these different supernatural creatures are also from their own parts of the world and they have their own nationalities and ethnicities that they are proud of as well. A lot of the side characters are queer and it's just so beautifully diverse. I really love the cast of this and I'm really excited for volume 2. It is out. I think it came out in January this year. I'm definitely going to be picking that up and reading it very soon because I loved this. I really, really enjoyed this a lot. It felt like Heartstopper in a lot of ways, so if you did enjoy Heartstopper, I think you will love this as well. It is really, really sweet. And back to the readathon side, I did get a lot of bonus points from this because it has obviously queer representation. It has a moon on the cover, and I also read it in one day, so I got the bonus points for that as well. So this was worth quite a few points, which was really nice, but also I'm just happy I finally got around to something something that has been on my TBR for a while. So that's all the reading progress I made yesterday. Very, very happy with all that progress. So the goal for today is to finish The Blighted Stars. I can definitely do it. I'm so excited to log the 480 something plus points. After that, I would love to pick up something short. I have a lot of short books on my TBR for the readathon. Some of them are from the library, so I'm gonna go pick them up on Monday, aka tomorrow. Wow, it's Sunday today. I'm still waiting for a couple of my library holds to come in, but I need to go pick up the ones that are currently there before they put them back. So I'm gonna pick those up tomorrow and I will let you know what they are. Sprints are not starting for a few hours at this point, so I might do some journaling, I might do some gaming. I'm not really sure what I'm in the mood for. So I will see you whenever I have an update. Greetings. It has been a minute since I filmed for this vlog, but I was prioritizing my June reading wrap-up, which is now live as I'm filming this. So now that that's kind of out of the way, I can go back to updating this vlog. I'm currently doing some sprints on my channel because I wanted to do some Sunrise on the Readathon Sunday sprints. No one was scheduled to sprint today, so I thought it would be fun to hop on and get some reading time done. I have fallen a little bit behind for this battle. I have definitely not made as much reading progress as I would like, but I'm hoping to change that today. I'm hoping to make some good progress in a couple books. We will see how much I can get done. It is Sunday, so I do technically have tomorrow night as well before Battle 2 closes. But let's chat about the couple of reading updates that I have since the last time I talked to you. I do not exactly remember where we left off when I was talking to you. I think I had just given you the final thoughts on The Blighted Stars.
Wrong.
But I know for a fact I have not discussed my two most recent reads with you. So the first book that I finished since that last update is Lie With Me by Philippe Besson. It is a historical romance and it's a translated work as well. I believe the original was in French. So because of that, it does satisfy the translated work bonus prompt. I believe it's a legacy prompt for the Readathon. It also satisfied the legacy prompt for reading a book from my library and also the bonus prompt of reading a book in one day. So despite it being a very short book, I did get a lot of bonus points from it, so that was very nice. So like I said, this one is a historical romance, and the historical aspect mostly comes in from flashbacks that our main character is having about his teenage love, his first gay romance with this boy that he was in high school with, and the two of them having these stolen moments of romance together despite both of them being closeted. And then in the present day sections, our main character, who is also named Philippe, has seen a young boy who is like the spitting image of his high school love, and all of this is bringing back all these memories and feelings for him. And so most of this story is following those recollected memories and the experiences that Philippe had in high school with this boy. I've heard incredible things about this one, and I was really looking forward to it because I have loved a lot of other historical kind of queer awakening stories. For example, Sunburn, The Safekeep, Last Night at the Telegraph Club, etc. But this one I just had a hard time with. I don't think it really worked for me, unfortunately. And I feel really bad about that because it is so beloved within the space that it occupies. I think it is a very influential story, and it has a lot of meaning in it, and it has a lot of punch to it. But there were just some things about it that didn't really click with me, and mostly it had to do with the writing as well, the writing style of this. It was almost like not purple prosy enough for me. I tend to like my writing to be a little bit more emotive, not as practical, a little bit more lyrical, a little bit more lush, and I think that this was just a little bit too like pared down stylistically for me. I don't know if that makes any sense, but just the writing style of this felt a little bit detached. It didn't feel as emotional as I wanted it to be. So unfortunately, it was a bit of a letdown. I was really bummed about it because I wanted to love it, and I actually ordered a copy of it from the UK, from Blackwell's UK, because I wanted the UK version of this. And it didn't even come in yet because I ended up reading it on Hoopla from my library as an ebook. So I haven't even gotten the physical copy yet, and I'm already going to be getting rid of it. I'm probably just going to resell it on Pango or something. So that kind of sucks. Again, my hubris getting the better of me with these book purchases, but that's okay. It wasn't expensive, at least. It wasn't like me buying 2 special editions of a book that I ended up DNFing. That would be crazy. That would be silly. So that's the first book that I read since the last time I talked to you, and the most recent one is The Deep by River Solomon. This is my first River Solomon, and it definitely will not be the last, let me tell you. I loved this book. I don't know what it was about it that was so just perfect for me right now. It's another very, very short book. I believe it technically is a novella, but from very early on, like maybe 10-15 pages in, it just completely enthralled me, and it was so beautiful. It was just so gorgeous. This novella has that kind of tone about it that reminds me of like a folktale. Very much has that feel to it of a spoken word storytelling experience. It just has that way of delivering a story to you, delivering a narrative to you that feels like, I don't know how else to describe it, like a storyteller is telling it to you, but not like a audiobook narration experience, but like somebody is living and breathing the tale to you, if that makes any sense. I don't fully know how to explain it better than that, but that's kind of how this story was absorbed for me. This book is very interesting in terms of the structure of it and how it is told, because we do follow our main character Yetu, but it also has other perspectives from characters in the past, her ancestors, that are delivered in the first person plural. I believe that's what it would be called. It's told in terms of we, so I think that's first person plural, but the sections following Yetu specifically are third person. So it is very intriguingly constructed, I will say. I really hope I'm not going to be butchering these names, by the way, because I didn't listen to it as an audiobook. I was just reading it with my eyeballs, and sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing. Yeah. Sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing things just from reading them. But so our main character, Yetu, is part of a group of people called Wenjiru, who are mer people. They live deep, deep, deep in the ocean, and they have fins and like webbed fingers and these little like frills and all this kind of stuff. Yetu specifically is what is called a historian. There is only one historian for the entire people, and her duty and the historian's duty is to absorb and collect all of the histories and memories and experiences of her people and of her ancestors. And then once a year there is this event called the Remembrance, where all of the Wenjiru people gather together, and Yetu basically delivers to them through this like multi-sensory experience the histories of her people, and she delivers them the memories of their people because they have all forgotten the memories. Something about the Wenjiru that I don't fully understand how it works. For whatever reason, the average person, not the historian, they're not capable of storing long-term memories, so they have no memories of their history, of their upbringing, of their ancestors, and that's why the historian has to give these memories back to them, to give them meaning, to steer their growth, and to remind everybody of who they are and where they come from. So I don't fully understand like the logistics of that, but that's like the kind of core premise of this, is that Yetu is the historian for the Wenjiru people. Sorry, my partner just came home with a matcha from our favorite place, so now I can have this for sprinting today. Also, I think I was mispronouncing something the whole time. I think it's Wajinru because it's Wajinru. Anyways, the story kicks off right before this annual remembrance where Yetu will deliver her history to her people, and she has been really, really struggling. She's been having a very, very difficult time handling the remembrances and all the memories that she has to carry with her all the time. They are very dark, they're very tragic, and they cause her a lot of physical and mental harm. And she's feeling like she's at her breaking point as the historian, but there's no way to pass it off to somebody else, especially as she is the conduit to her people's history and to all their ancestry. She feels this incredible burden on her, and this feeling of being constantly drained and having the life sucked out of you in service of your people. It's a very, very interesting discussion around that as well, and the burden of memory and carrying your history and being the sole carrier of everything that is so critical to the identity and culture of your people. And she's really reaching that critical point where she can no longer handle it anymore. And so in the middle of the remembrance, when her people are basically in a trance-like state, absorbing the memories from her, she leaves, and she leaves them in this state of trance. Despite the incredible guilt that she's feeling when she does this, she is acting out of self-preservation because she feels like she's going to die if she does not pass off the burden of historianship. Historianship? That sounds like it could be a word. I'm gonna go with that. And so we're following her closely as she leaves her people behind and where she ends up going. And in this new place that she finds herself in, she is going through all of these struggles internally and trying to rationalize herself leaving, but also at the same time feeling incredible shame for the way that she has betrayed her people and the way that she let them down. It's a really, really heart-wrenching narrative. As well, the memories that she carries are incredibly heavy. And it's just really heartbreaking to see Yetu pushed to this point and all the ways that she's struggling in the wake of this. This isn't a very heavy plot-driven book. It's very much character-driven and a very deep exploration of the personal conflicts that can arise in a person. It's just incredibly complex, I feel. I think this is a really, really complex story. And despite feeling like it was a little bit repetitive at points and that we were a little bit lacking on some world building that I would have liked to have more elaboration on, I still really, really loved this. It was just absolutely captivating. The way that Solomon writes is just incredibly immersive. I felt like I was deep in the ocean the entire time I was reading this. I felt like I was swimming alongside of Yetu, and I feel like when she's talking about the deep and she's talking about the ocean, I'm with her in those moments. This book is so atmospheric, and it really, really captures the place and the feeling of the ocean. And I do not like the ocean. I am not a person who enjoys being underwater. I'm not a person who enjoys the deep, but this book really, really made me want to go in the ocean. It made me want to just feel the water around me the way that Yetu does. It was incredible. It was really incredible. And I don't know why it worked so well for me, but it really, really did. Definitely my best book of the month, and it might even be one of my favorites of the year. We'll have to see. It could be up in the top 5, honestly. It really could be. So those are the 2 books I read most recently. I have finished 4 books so far this month. Granted, 2 of them are short and 1 of them was a graphic novel, but I'm really happy so far with those 4, and I'm hoping I can read a lot more in the last half of of the month. It is currently the 12th today, so there's lots of time still. I think I will end this vlog here, and I will create a new Sunrise on the Readathon reading vlog for the next few books that I read, because I don't want this one Sunrise on the Readathon vlog to be like 3 hours long or something. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me that you're here. And if you want to comment down below, let me know what you're reading right now. If you're not feeling chatty but you want to let me know that you were here, drop a mermaid or a merman emoji. Oh my god. Drop a mermaid or a merman emoji in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Why is my monitor creaking?